Well, it's early April, and we're going to put a new impeller in this thing in the lower unit. We're going to take it apart and drop it. It's been a couple of years since we did it, so change the oils like we do. We do that every year, gear oil and stuff, but we're going to drop the lower unit off. We got a new impeller, new gaskets, and everything to put on it, so just a little maintenance. Gonna put a new fuel filter and stuff like that on it this year. New plugs. Usually do them every couple of years too. So keep it running in tip-top shape. Get it ready for the spawn. Another month, big boys will be coming up. Hopefully.
Good. Alright, so we just dropped the lower unit off. That's just attached with 5 bolts here. We dropped it all out. We got the housing here for the impeller. We're gonna take this off. Looks like it's just got 4 bolts down in, and that's where it's gonna be housed. We're gonna take it out from there. The shaft here did have a gasket that was at the bottom. That was to seal that off, it looks like. So we slid that off real careful because you're gonna need to pop this piece up the shaft, and then that'll expose the impeller and everything that we're gonna look to change. So we'll get this off for you, and then we'll show you what it looks like in there, and how to get the new impeller in, because there's a little trick to it, so hopefully we can show that. You can see here we got the old housing and impeller off. That's what it looks like on the inside. It does have a little key there that you have to get lined up. Here's the key that slides in, and that just sits. Let's see if we can see it here. That'll sit flush on the bottom of the shaft there. And we are also replacing the gaskets. New one sitting here, just dry fitting it. But they'll sit around this plate. One goes on the bottom, which is the one sitting here, and then one will sit on top of this plate. So we are going to replace those, just because we haven't done it in a while. So if we're taking it apart, we're gonna put new ones on. So we'll keep moving along here and show you what's going on. We got new gaskets dry fit on there just to make sure everything lines up. Got one under the plate, maybe the plate, and this top gasket here we just got it pinned with one of our screws or our bolts for now. But just put a little bit of grease in the impeller housing there. Just worked it in a little bit.
Real thin layer of grease on here, so when we put this new one in, it'll spin in place, because it's gonna have to look like this one. This is the old one, which they come like this, but they got to be tight in there, and doesn't look bad actually. I thought it'd be a little more dry rotted and a little more brittle, but it's actually in pretty good shape. So, but we have it apart, and it's easy maintenance. So, go with the new one.
Rolling. Alright, we're just snugging up some of our bolts here for our housing. Got everything back in place, the gaskets, the plate, the housing here, the impeller we got in. We put the key against, slid our impeller down on it, and then we turned the shaft here clockwise a little bit while we held the gaskets and plate in place, and that gets your torque on your impeller in there, so it gets a nice tight seal, gets the bend on them. So now we're just going to snug these bolts to get the plate and everything settled in. Then we'll crank those tight to get everything fit nice. And then we're just going to look down into the lower unit a little bit, and then should be putting it back on and getting it back together.
Yep.
Alright, well, we got our lower unit lined up and back on. We got our screws, or our nuts, just hand tightened on there. Little key to getting your shaft all the way back up and in and lined up. You flip the kill switch on for your motor, and you just crank it a little bit. It'll want to jump everything in there and move it. That can get your gear lined up at the top of your shaft. That'll get your housing all back together. So now we're just gonna tighten everything up, snug everything back together. We should be good to go.
Well, everything's back together. Went pretty smooth. Everything lined up. Now we are draining the lower unit, the gear oil. Change that every year. So we're just letting it drain out right now, and we just use this Quicksilver 90 weight gear lube. Pretty much Quicksilver is Mercury, so almost any Quicksilver product I believe is made by Mercury. Just sold at a little bit cheaper price. It's good stuff. Gonna let this drain a little, and then we're gonna clean the rig because it is full of spider webs, dead birds. It's just a mess.
Muddy sneaker prints.
Muddy sneaker prints, and get it ready for the season. It's gonna be a good season, so I was told. Well, we just drained the lower unit, and I hooked up my hose here to pump it in. I got my two vents out up here. Once an oil fill, you pump it till it runs out the top, and then you know you're full. Just seal it back up. So you can see we sandblasted our fin there a little bit down the flats a couple times. Got her in some shallow water. That happens. Get it level so you know you're getting the full max fill out of it. So now we're just pumping it in. It's filling this chamber. It's got to come out these two little things up here where I have the one's an oil fill and one's a vent hole. When you see it start coming out of there, you know you're full. And this should be done at least once a year. If you use it a lot, I would do it twice a year. Matter of fact, I think Mercury is, what Ryan say, every 20 hours is what Mercury recommends you change it. It usually takes a quart. And it's pumping it in, filling her up. I don't see it coming out yet. See, there's a nice aqua color to it. The old stuff had a little water mixed with it. Makes it get a little milky. But the one good thing, it's not black. So it doesn't have any burn to it, which is real good. It has a little water, which you do get in it. It just turns it a milky color. Sometimes it'll smell. Oh, now we just came out here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but we just came out our overflow. Right here, we just came out the lowest one, which is the oil one. So when that happens, I'm going to cap that one back off again. I don't make these easy. Everything's so little. And these screws are magnets on the end. Yeah, the end of these are a magnet, so it does catch any little shavings that come off of your gears or anything. These are completely clean, which is good, but they do catch the shavings, so they don't run through your motor and stuff. So now what we're gonna do, we got that one. This next one's just a tick higher. We're gonna go. Oh, there, we just came out that one now. Now we know it's full. Nice clean oil just come out. Wipe it off good. And you put this next cap on. Depending on your motor, sometimes your drain is in your, you have to take your prop off, and there's a drain plug inside there. But these are on the outside, which makes it nice. But they are little and short. What you need to do is you got to take your fill off. Have one ready. your bottom plug and get it in there just like that. You lose a little, but I'm sure they figure for that. There's no other way to do it, but once you cap these off, it doesn't come out of here as fast because it doesn't have the suction of air pushing. So all in all, we only lost a couple drops. Wipe everything down nice, and up here's the two top ones. They're sealed up, and that's it. That's an oil change. You can do it yourself. I don't know what a dealer gets or a mechanic, but oils, I don't even know that I had this on the shelf. I'm guessing at tops it's $15. I don't know. It's not more than that. That's all it takes. And one of these, you can buy these at Walmart. These pumps, they're another probably 10, 12 bucks. And they last a long time. And they're perfect. They fit right on these things. Jars. And that's it.
Well, we got the all but finished product here. He's washed, waxed, greased. Got new impeller in it. New gear oil back in the lower unit. All shined up, ready for the water. All we gotta do is go through our baits, go through some of the terminal tackle, see what we need, and then we're ready to hit the water.